Welcome to this next edition of the Beloved Miracles Couples Project. I'm Tim, broadcasting from Fevik, Norway, all the way to St. Louis, Missouri today. Hello, Beth and John.
Hey, how you doing?
Nice to see you.
Doing fantastic. The sun just set here, and I would imagine it's pretty much still rising on your end of the world.
Yeah, it's going on 10 o'clock now in the morning, so it's up and actually shining. We've had a lot of bad weather here as far as just yucky, kind of, depressing weather, like no sun, just rain and no snow. So we're good there.
No sun for 20 days.
Yeah, or at least 20 days.
Kind of like Norway, I guess.
Yeah, please, hey, when you're done with the sun today, send that sun back this way again tomorrow morning, please.
So we're excited that the sun is shining here. It's a good day.
Fantastic. Well, let me offer a brief introduction of you guys. They are a fun-loving, happily married couple running a successful online business and can show you how to. Their goal is to live at the beach during the winter. So guys, where does your story of being a couple building together online begin?
You want my version or do you want her version? I think you'll take my wife's version would be much better.
Actually, we've been married, what now, 22 years?
Much more like 46 years probably.
Happily married, because we do work together. So we think it counts as double. So yeah, 44 years we've been married now.
Argument or disagreement and all that time.
Oh gosh.
Never, ever.
Yeah. Actually, I'll start with my story because my story is basically that I've always been online for the last 20 plus years. Before I even met John, I was doing things online, so to speak, for network marketing. This was before all the social media and stuff like that. So I was having classes in the basement of my home, teaching people how to make things, make photo albums and things like that. I did a lot of stuff. So without mentioning any companies per se, I've been in the MLM industry for 20 plus years, or had been. And each time I tried something new, that's the key, is I tried something new, it just didn't seem to fit for me. I was always looking for that something else to do in life. And so I would join an MLM, and if I hadn't made money within 6 months or whatever, even 3 months sometimes, I quit. I figured it's not going to work, because you hear all these success stories all the time that they're making $1 million here, or I'm making 6 figures a month here and stuff. And so I decided that I should be making that. I'm not stupid. I should be making this, within the first 3 to 6 months. Well, never happened. Excuse me. And so then a friend of mine that was in another MLM with me, and I made a pact that we would never do this again, that we would just be happy with what we had in life, and yeah, and that would be it.
Then she married me, but anyway.
Yeah, and then in the midst of all that, John came along, and John has really been a real support to me in everything that I have done, even the stuff that doesn't work, but he, without sounding, because I don't like this word, that he allows me to do whatever I want to do. I don't like that because, I think I allow myself to do what I want to do, and he allows himself to do what he wants to do. But John has been in our brick and mortar business, which is the greenhouse business, all of his life. He was born into it, and basically that's all until now. Yeah.
That's all I know is the greenhouse business, but you know what? That's okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I said to my friend, that's it. We're not doing any more of these things. And she says, I agree. And so then this current system came along, and it's not an MLM. I don't consider it that. It is a network marketing type of system that will allow you, if you are doing MLMs, that this system helps you build your current business. It helps you build our current brick and mortar business. And basically, when I found this system, I thought, this is it. This is gonna be a real help to our brick and mortar business, which is a greenhouse business. If I didn't mention that, I don't know if I did or not. But and so that's really why I joined. And I thought, you know, as long as I'm using the system, after about, I guess about 3 months or so, I thought, you know, we can make money at this, not just, you know, blog about the greenhouse business or have the self-development things that are part of our system. We can really take this to the next step. And so I started really getting into this, and almost to the point where, as many couples probably suffer a little bit.
Yes.
John said to me one day, I feel that we're moving further and further apart.
Yep. That's exactly right.
Yeah. And that was the turning point, I think, that because we are a couple and we do support each other our entire marriage, that was a turning point, I think, for both of us, that he took his own step and he said, I want to go to an event with you. And so the first event he went to was in Dallas, and he only went to drive me down, basically. Well, you can tell that part. Why'd you go?
Oh, well, I drove her down. I had an alternative motive to go with this, but I told her, let's go. And she says, well, I'm not going to go. And I said, no, you want this. So I decided to take her down there. So we drove down to Dallas, and we went down there, and she says, well, what are you going to do? I says, you're going to do your thing. I'm going to do my thing. Well, I went and toured the town and did some things that afternoon while she was meeting up with her friends and all that, because I was not into this, but I had an alternative motive while I was there. And while she was with her friends, I had contacted some people to get a pass to get into the seminars and such, to find out exactly how this works and everything, so that I could help her along with this business and help her move forward in the business. So I got a pass, it was $20, got a deal on it because somebody didn't show up, and she doesn't know how I got it. Still doesn't know how I got it, but you know, that's beside the point. I'm not going to disclose my friends and let them go at this time, you know. I'm not going to throw them under the bus, okay?
Oh,
but anyway, I went, you know, and you know, it was a good deal. I went to learn about it, and I did learn quite a bit about it at that time. It was a short 2 days, because I didn't go to the first day. I skipped that, and I went to the next 2 days. And then on the way home, I was constantly thinking about, okay, we got to do this, we got to do this. It did put a lot of thoughts in my mind and everything. But it was, you know, she is right. I saw her doing a lot in the business, putting a lot into it, and I know it meant a lot to her. So I figured, okay, she's getting up there. She wants to retire. She wants something to do, to have something to do in life. So I figured that I would get into this with her. I said, I still have to run my business and do the greenhouse business, but I can do the computer work, the Instagram accounts, the Facebook accounts. I can do all that. I can answer replies and all that, while she can take care of the, I guess, the real intense business stuff that has to be done, or the coaching or whatever needs to be done. So that's why I went down there to Dallas. And then after that, we got back, and of course, a few people said, oh, you need to go to Bucharest. And she kept saying, no, we don't need to go. We don't need to go. We don't need to go. Well, we weren't going until
3 days.
It was about 3 days before I said, how would you like to go to Bucharest? And she says, are you crazy? I said, no. And she says, well, it's too expensive. I said, nothing's too expensive if you want to get ahead in life.
And this is my thing. This is why he's important to me.
And you won't know unless you try. You know, exactly. like they say, failure, you have to fail and get back up and try it again. Well, I figured we won't know. I said, will we miss out? You know, because there's not going to be very many people that fly to Bucharest for this class and seminar, whatever you want to call it. So, yep, that was 3 days before I bought the tickets, told my dad, Dad watched the place I'm leaving. He says, where are you going? I said, Bucharest. And he looked at me, are you crazy? And I said, yes, we are crazy. And he says, well, how long are you going to be gone? Because it was the busiest time of my year in my business. And he says, how long are you going to be gone? I says, 5 days. He says, 5 days? I said, yeah, we're flying out Tuesday. We'll be back Monday. And that's what we did. We went over there, had a grand old time, and met up with you, Tim, and
met you.
And I guess about, I don't know, 10 others, I guess, that are, you know, big people within the system. And I learned a lot. That was really, it meant a lot to me. And there was a couple things I wasn't going to do because I wasn't into them, but I stuck through the whole thing. And
okay,
I learned a lot. I learned a lot.
No,
I'm not done. Okay, go ahead.
He's not into rah-rah, okay? And I know a lot of men are not into what's called rah-rah. In other words, meeting your neighbor, shaking hands with them, and telling them your goals, people you haven't ever met before. And so this was one thing that was really disturbing to him, especially in Bucharest, because there was a gentleman there that was going to talk on meditation and how powerful it is. And all weekend long, he keeps saying, I'm not going to go, I'm not going to go. And so I finally had it. And this is what, you know, I'm saying this for other couples that have this little love-hate things, you know, sometimes that happen. You know,
no, we never had that.
So he kept saying, I'm not going to go, I'm not going to go. And so I finally said, okay, don't go. If this is bothering you that much, don't go. And so this gentleman was speaking after lunch, as you know, one day you were there, Tim. And by the way, what a lovely man you are. You know, we met in the lobby in Bucharest and you came up to us immediately. And the power of social media in any business that you do is phenomenal, because you actually came up, I'm diversing from my story here, but you came up to us and you said, are you Beth? And I looked at you and I said, well, I could be. And he says, aren't you with the Yellow Chicken? And John had dressed up as a yellow chicken. Some of you know on Facebook, you've seen his John the Yellow Chicken Facebook page. So I'm just bringing it up. So anyway, so Tim recognized us, I guess. And so we immediately clicked and had a great time. We went to lunch together. We saw your room that you were staying in, you know, which is for the viewers here. He was not staying in the hotel. He was staying around the corner in, what was it? I don't even know how you found it, but
a Soviet-style block building flat.
yeah, it was in.
Well, there's scaffolding on the outside.
Oh my gosh, it was.
You had many entrances.
And I really wanted to go because I enjoy to see how other people live and stuff like that. So he had rented this little condo, I guess, or whatever, little apartment. And it was so interesting to me to see how Romanians live. But anyway, so John, back to the story. He didn't want to go. And so it was lunchtime and we're all sitting there having a great lunch. And I could see him getting nervous and more nervous. And he said, I'll see you later. And so I said, okay, you know, and he got up and the rest of us sat there. We went back to the room to listen to this next speaker. And there was John sitting there in that room.
Yeah.
So, you know, and why?
I wanted to hear what Menno had to say. And he told me that I would benefit from his speech, his lecture, whatever you want to call it, seminar, whatever he was going to give us. He says, you will benefit. And he says, it won't be painful. And that's what he said when we went to dinner one night, and it stuck with me. And I said, well, you know what? I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. So I went and I sat there for the 2.5 hours and I went through it, and it was not painful. It was very informative. And I learned a lot as far as eye-opening things that I never knew, you know, about meditation, 87,000 ways to meditate. Never thought of that. I figured there was about 10. You know, but he gave us a lot of tools to use in everyday life, and just getting up in the morning, and even when you go to bed at night, or things to do throughout the day to help just cope with normal everyday life
stuff. Yeah.
And I stayed there, and I was amazed that I stayed there.
Yeah,
but,
that was really outside his comfort zone, and that's what that's what our system does, is it challenges you to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. And so I was extremely proud of him when I saw him sitting there. And I think that's really when you got on board. After that event, the flight back was what, 14 hours back or something like that. And we talked all the way back as to what his role in our business was going to be and what my role was going to be. Because I do think if it's couples doing this business, that it's good to separate and do your own things too, because rather than both of you working on something together, you know, I don't know, that's just my feeling on it. And so the Instagram stuff, as far as social media is concerned, and he does his own Facebook stuff, and I do too, you know, and like he said, I do most of the nitty-gritty part of the business because I've learned it, you know, over the last couple of years. I actually joined this team in October of 2014, and I did nothing. When I tell you nothing other than learn the technical stuff in the back office, which I am, if I can learn that, anybody can learn that, because I am. So I thought since I typed on the computer that I was very technical. Well, I'm not. And so, you know, that's the beauty of this system, is all built in there for you. And our team has all sorts of training and stuff like that. So it was easy. I can always reach out to somebody else. And that's, I think, one of the things that I love about this system and our team, is that we meet people that we can bounce ideas off of, and we help them. Genuinely, it's a love fest, I guess, as far as we do help others, you know, as far as building their business. We want everyone to succeed, and it's very, very possible. We're living proof.
Absolutely. Yeah. What else changed in your lives? You just had arrived back after a 14-hour flight from Bucharest. What else began to roll out and unfold that was changing in your life because of this system?
Well, I think the togetherness, we got back together. I mean, that was probably one thing. Our computer's actually set up in our dining room, and for a reason, because that way I can be on the computer and he can be sitting on the couch and checking the Instagram. Like I said, he's mainly the Instagram guru of our family. I don't want anything to do with Instagram, to be honest with you. You know, we have really tweaked a lot of things as far as who our target market is, because I've learned also that you cannot market everyone. You've got to have real specific targeted people. I mean, most of them, I think, you know, I would say most of our target market are like-minded people like ourselves. You know, that's what we're looking for. And we seem to attract that. And so, you know, that's one thing.
Brought us, I said, well, we're always together. We do everything together. We work together for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
We work together, and we sit like no more than 10 feet away from one another all day long. And it's a family business. So it's like, we're here. We go to breakfast in the morning together. We work together. We go to lunch together.
We're best friends.
And we go to dinner, out to dinner every night, because Beth has to dust the stove off a lot of times just to cook. You know, and she wants me to redo the kitchen now, and I just don't understand why, because it won't get used, but whatever. But I think we work together quite a bit, but I think it actually brought us together more.
Yeah.
Because we were actually doing something together that will probably take us down the road for the years to come in our retirement, maybe. So we have something to do, because we're worried that, you know, I'm on a 10-year plan with my business, and I'm in the 9th year. Beth is mildly older than I am, so she can retire a lot sooner than I can.
Like now. And
so she, whoa. So I wasn't saying anything about that, but anyway, she wants something to do in life, and she's always said, her friends have said, you know, told her, you have to have something to get up in the morning. My motto is, you have to have something to get up for, get dressed for, and get out of the house for. Those are my 3. So just to keep her mind occupied and busy, she was looking for this this online business, and this way she can reach many people in the world, and we're both likable people. We can talk to anybody. I'm motivated. I can just walk up and talk to anybody. But you know, we wanted to be able to keep doing this down the road when we retire, so we were looking for something to stay in touch with people, maybe touch people's lives across the world. Who knows? I mean, you know, we're just you know, we've met many people, and you know, I mean, social media brings you many people.
The world gets closer and closer.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I have friends from all over now. It just keeps growing every year. So it's like, okay.
And you said it earlier, we love the beach. And so that's really our main common goal.
Yeah, 6 months out of the year.
Oh, 6 months.
Yeah,
I
not
just
3.
said the winter.
What in the world would that be? What's the top of your list?
Well, that's on the top of our list. That is really a goal.
Where in the world?
We love.
I'm not particular.
No, I mean, we'll go anywhere. But we love the Mayan Riviera. We love the people down there because it really, and this is going to sound stupid, but it really does coordinate with our business. They are so loving and so want to, what's the word? They want you to have a wonderful time all the time down there. They have become our extended family. We've been down there, I don't know how many years now, 6, 7 years? No, 9 years. We've been going to really the same little resort in the Mayan Riviera.
Yeah.
And, you know, most people would not be content with that, you know, because they like to do new things, but we love it because they're our family. We take gifts down there for their children. We've watched some of these kids grow up and now have babies. So, you know, that has really been special to us because they think like us.
Another part of this, where we go in Mexico, I went there, it's been, I guess, 10 years ago now, we started going there, and I went there out of my comfort zone, okay? And
you didn't do any traveling.
I didn't do any traveling, so it was out of my comfort zone. But once I got there, we started, after the second time we went back, we liked it the first time, we went back the second time, and then I started entertaining.
Yeah.
And
the yellow chicken came out.
You know, coming out of my, not the yellow chicken wasn't then, but I mean, just, I came out of my comfort zone then because I was kind of brought up differently, but I've always been wild and doing crazy things, but it's a small resort, just 42 rooms, but I met tons of people, all likable people, and I started doing crazy, funny stuff. And the next thing you know, all these people want to come back with me and want to be with my group. And now I've got this, you know, over 100.
So really, he was network marketing.
I was network marketing way before I started this.
Yeah.
And I enjoy entertaining people, making people happy, and seeing people get ahead in life. And I've brought a lot of people out of their comfort zone over the last 10 years just by going to Mexico. And I always felt that I could go anywhere and do that. And I guess you saw it in Bucharest when I, you know, went to dinner in Bucharest. I was the only yellow chicken walking the streets in Bucharest. I mean, I guarantee it was the only chicken in the world probably walking the streets that day. And did I care? No. Did I have many pictures? Yes. Were many people happy? Yes. I don't care.
He has such a hard time with being center of attention.
Yeah, I know.
You know. So, you know, yeah. So we've been network marketing, I guess you have and I have in our own ways for a long, long time.
We just never put it to use, but now we're putting it to use.
So this is the niche that I have found. I found it 2 years ago. What are we, 2016 now? Yeah, 2 years ago. Like I said, the first year I didn't do anything except kind of play around in what we call our back office. And then it really wasn't until August of last year that I really started working the business. I decided that I needed some more training and joined a like-minded personal development group that my mentor had put together. And that's why we ended up in Bucharest, because that was sponsored by our mentor, and really delved into it with her help. And that's what's so beautiful about our system is there's these people out there that, and I've had mentors and coaches, you know, like for 20 years, but these mentors and coaches, as you know, because we are in the same system, truly want you to succeed. And there's been things that my mentor has asked me to do that I thought, no, I'm not going to do it. But I plowed through them, and, you know, as a result, we've had success. And so, yeah, I think in retirement, we will do this until I can't type anymore, or I can't have a camera in front of me anymore, because it's something, it's not age related at all. So, you know, I'm just going to say it. I'm 64 years old. So, you know, so if there's people out there that are watching this, start. I mean, start with something, you know, have something to do, because like I said, my motto has been for the past really 20 years, you've got to have something to get up for, get dressed for, and get out of the house for. It's all those three things. And especially in online marketing, network marketing, MLMs, that getting out of the house is something that a lot of people don't do, you know, I mean, because you're at home, you've got this home-based business. But I think in my business, getting out of the house, whether it be to do a video or go to the park and take pictures or whatever, fun things like that, that's important. It's important to get out of the house, you know, and not stay in your pajamas all day, for those that are in systems that allows you to do that. Now, I'm not saying that it's not fun to do that, because it is, but, you know, to get up, get dressed, and get out of the house is really my key motto, I guess.
I love it. I love it, guys. We could go on and on. It's such
my God. You know, you give us the microphone and we can go.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you asked.
Oh my gosh.
I did ask, and from the moment I first met you to now, it's always been a fun and exciting adventure to connect with you guys. You're always having a bubbly time. And it's infectious in a very good way. So I'm sure that others watching this now will likewise be taken away to these beaches of the world and inspired as well by the example that you both are.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Okay,
it's
thanks.
very, very, very sweet of you. You got to have fun in life, you know, and that is really another motto that we have. You've got to have fun, you know, you know, if you're not doing a system, somebody's coming in the door over here. So if you don't have a business where you have a system such as what we have, or any system, you got to have fun. You got to enjoy what you're doing. And so that is really key. That's the biggest thing.
Well,
have something you love to do. If you're going to do it the rest of your life, you got to have something that you love to do. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and we are able to do exactly that. All right, well, with that, we'll wrap it up for now. In the future, we look forward to touching in and hopefully doing this on one of those beaches of the world with you.
Absolutely. We'll invite you to our little beach hut down there. We'll have enough hammocks for everyone to have a hammock on the beach, and maybe just
we could do this again, Tim, and about let's see, after January 13th, we'll be on the beach for 15 days. If you would like to touch base with us. We can give you what the Mayan Riviera looks like if you'd like.
That'd be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Seriously, let's do that. You let me know on the calendar when we can look forward to that.
We'll have some time. I'll be able to work you in my tight entertainment schedule. I'm sure you'll be looking forward to it.
Well, whatever. Well, we appreciate that you asked us. We were flattered, number one, and honored that you asked us to join you, you know, on as a couple that is doing their business together. So that's, you know, we appreciate that. We appreciate you, you know, and I just want to say, if people have not teamed up with you or not following you, I hope they do, because you've got some incredible things happening. You know, I know that, you know, so you are one of a kind, Mr. Tim. You really are.
Thank you. Thank you. Just an American trying to find his way in Norway among a lot of
I know. When we heard your story about, you know, you leaving, what was it, Seattle, and going clear across the world, you know, then it was amazing. I thought, wow, talk about getting out of your comfort zone. You're the man to get out of your comfort zone.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Beth. And you too, John. I really appreciate the depth of sharing your experience, and we will touch in again in the future.
All right. Anytime, buddy. Just let me know.
All right. And for now, I'll sign off from Norway. Saying together.
See you all later.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.